Morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
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 All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Power Hour, where the hour shall pass, but the power continues. Thank you for joining us. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you are one of our fam, please put your information in the chat. Where are you actually tuning in from? What part of the world are you in? Would love to know. Say hi. Don't be shy. And tell us a little bit about who you are and what you got, what got you up this morning. What are you up to? That would be awesome. My name is Ricardo Bettis. I'm the chairman for the Global Opportunities Committee of the Atlanta Black Chambers. The Atlanta Black Chamber based here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. You don't need to be in Atlanta to be a part of the chamber. So if you have not yet joined the community, uh, you're missing out. And so hopefully, before we're done here, you'll be able to lock arms with the community and be a part of what we're doing. It's actually a great community. Got some amazing people that actually makes this community a one of a kind. And obviously, the Atlanta Black Chambers got we have members all over the place, and that's what makes the whole thing incredible. So feel free to consider becoming a part of the family. The Global Opportunities Committee, we focus on the word suggests global. So we encourage people to go global. You can go global from anywhere. So wherever you've put that you are in the chat, you can go global from there. Global is a mindset. And hopefully as we repeat this weekly, it resonates and you can be encouraged to do that as soon as possible. We focus on boosting trade with our international partners. We focus on investments. We focus on partnerships. So there are a number of different areas that we focus on within the GOC. And so delighted to have you here. This is a recorded session, so it's going to be available on YouTube, and you can follow us on social media. By the way, if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that. That actually is super helpful because it tell us that you're paying attention and you have access to some of these resources. And follow us anywhere social media is. I know the chamber is working on getting hitting 1,000+ subscriber. And if you all could do me a favor, I'm not sure if all of you yet have gone over. Just take a moment, head over to YouTube for us, and just subscribe. It's a really, really easy action and help the chamber to get to that 1,000 number. Also follow Global Opportunities Committee, right? It's we're like a child of the chamber. We are connected by the hips. So feel free to do that. This is a special day for us because we're winding down. We're getting closer to being in West Africa, and I'm super excited about being on that side of the continent. There are a group of us that are also incredibly excited, and we have our guest that's going to be telling us a little bit more about Ghana. We're bringing Ghana in focus. I talked to a number of people who are actually interested in Ghana, believe it or not, and they want to hear, they want to learn as they prepare and plan for the opportunities that exist in being a part of the Ghanaian community. So we're super excited about that. Some of the other things that are coming up will be next week. We'll actually be live in Cape Town, and I have some of our peeps from South Africa on the call. You'll see them into the chat, and we'll be talking to you live from Cape Town and focusing on some of the folks that are out there as we begin our journey on the continent. So please root for us. But hey, if you know anyone who's out there, let them know that they should actually tune in and come through live to be a part of that family conversation. So we're gonna get into it, and I know Stephen is getting ready to jumping, and Stephen, if you can unmute and let us know that we're ready to rumble here, so we can start our session. Stephen, can you hear us? All right,
Yes,
I
sir.
think he's still trying to get ready. Are we ready? Are we ready to go with this?
A moment, and then we should be ready to go.
All right, so let me just buy you a little bit more time with a couple more announcements. So, we are actually we're actually going to be in Nigeria as well. Last week we talked about Nigeria. Last week was incredible, guys, and I want to give a big shout out to our team for Nigeria that connected us with our guest. I mean, he was powerful, and if you would agree, he delivered, and so that was a really inspiring conversation that we had last week. And we want to have more conversations like those. So if you know anybody who is as powerful and as practical as our guest, please recommend them. Would love to chat with. We love talking to folks international because that gives you the inspiration you need, that gives you the ideas that you need to be able to do what you do. Also, big shout out to our folks from Kenya. We actually had a Kenya delegation that came into Atlanta this past weekend, and they came to celebrate the Kenyan brands at the Atlanta Black Expo. Big shout out to Corey Moore, who is the organizer for the Atlanta Black Expo. It was a really awesome event. I believe the chamber had a killer time at that event. Over 40 members joined the chamber, but we did want to celebrate obviously those members, but most importantly, the members who came in from Nairobi, Kenya, to be in Atlanta with us. Pretty chill few days in the weekend, but they managed and they were able to exhibit. Alice, and big shout out to our regional lead Betty, who actually came to support. And that's what it's about. And so they left with their heart filled, and it's just a really awesome experience for them to be able to come through and connect with the community here in Atlanta. And so every February, folks, so you can start maybe mark it in your calendar if you're outside of the country and you want to be a part of the Atlanta Black Expo, mark it in your calendar approximately 1 year from now, we'll be inviting you to come out You can exhibit, you can connect with the Black Super Bowl that's happening next February as well. And of course, our conference is coming up in October. And so if you want to be a part of that, you obviously can. You can go to our conference site and start planning to be a part of that from now. We don't have much time, so you're going to hear a lot more about the conference as we work on planning this over the next couple of weeks. And we'll be launching the conference soon. So stay tuned for that. If you're in Atlanta, you want to be a part of it, you want to join the fam and celebrate the launch of our conference. We'll also be doing an in-person mixer. So if you're in town, let us know so we can connect in person and do some networking. And that's going to happen also in April. We're collaborating with the Real Estate Professional Services Committee, and we're going to be in Top Golf together, GOC and RPS in Top Golf. That's going to be an amazing time. So look out for that, and hopefully we'll be able to see you there. All right, so we're ready to go, Stephen. Um, Welcome to the Power Hour, my friend. It's good to see you again. You were here literally a week ago with a small
Absolutely.
delegation from Ghana, and we managed to welcome Stephen and his delegates from Ghana that came into Atlanta to explore and
Absolutely.
talk through some of the different opportunities that exist here. Stephen, thanks for joining the Power Hour. We don't have a lot of time, but we have a few minutes together, and we do want folks to get to know who you are and talk a little bit about the organization BIDEC, in which you created and are using to serve and building the bridge between Ghana and the Atlanta and the US community. So if you can kick us off, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about who you are, and tell us a little bit about BIDEC and why did you even decide to start BIDEC?
I want to say a big thank you to you, Ricardo, and your team in Atlanta. I'm talking to you from the eastern part of Ghana, which is called the Volta region. I had an emergency, and truth be told, a good friend of mine decided he doesn't want to be single. So I had to accompany him and lead a delegation of absolutely here to come and get him married to do the traditional marriage ceremony. So, pardon me, it was an emergency. Once he heard I was in town, he was like, "You need to lead this delegation for me." So the good me had to do what I have to do all the time. So I'm coming to you live from where we call this area is called like Denu in the Volta region, and it's a beautiful place. Anyone who gets to Ghana and you have a lot of days or weeks is a good place to be. As Ricardo introduced, my name is Stephen Selasie Asuo. I call myself a communication, project management, and diaspora and trade facilitating personality. I've had a very interesting background because of my dad, who was a diplomat with the United Nations, specifically the WHO. I had opportunity of visiting a number of African countries, so I have a little bit of the taste of Africa in me. I was raised in Ghana, in a town called Peki. Um, Quite insignificant, but very significant to the history of Ghana because it has the composer of the national anthem of Ghana coming from that town. So I was raised there, had my basic education, had my um, secondary education, also in the Volta region, and then I moved to the western part of Ghana, where I volunteered as a teacher, where I had the opportunity to work with young people, and I was also a data collecting volunteer for the AIDS Commission of Ghana, and that gave me a little opportunity to really understand different people from different places, from different parts of the country. And then over the years, I had opportunity to also be part of one of the magnanimous programs called the Young African Leaders Initiative that was instituted by the State Department, led by the former President of the United States, Barack Obama. As a result of that training program, I had the opportunity to meet many other young people. Through that program, I really had the opportunity to experience how relevant my background was. I have a background. I was trained to be a paramedic, so I was a paramedic for 10 years. And a lot of people don't know about that. Being a paramedic, I had the opportunity to meet different people, high-level politicians, students, people of different categories when they were in that point of need. And that gave me an experience. That the 1 decade of working from the airport, I was at the airport, and then they brought me to residential areas. I had the opportunity to meet different people who were near losing their lives, or they regained their lives, or they actually passed on. And one thing stayed with me was a lot of people actually lose their lives because they don't have the right access to the right information. They don't have access to the right information, they don't have access to the right benefits that they are supposed to have. As a result of that, I volunteered for the United Nations, where I was part of the team that helped to implement the SDGs in Africa. I was part of those who actually did the promotion in Africa. And through the yearly program, I met many young people, and this resounded with me that there were many other people who were doing things that I didn't know about. I thought I was doing so much by sharing information to people and the grassroots on sustainable development. But by meeting these other young people from other African countries, I was amazed. I was now inspired to tell the story of other young people, and I made a proposition to the State Department of the US that we needed to have a storytelling platform. So I was given the opportunity to launch what we call the Yali TV platform, of which I led that initiative from 2019 to 2022, where I had to cover stories of Yali.
What did you froze, Stephen? We can't hear you. We can't hear you anymore, so we'll wait for Stephen to come back. I think he's having a little connectivity issue there. While Stephen is working on that, I want to tell you a quick sort of a story. I met a gentleman at the Atlanta Black Expo on the weekend, and I think he's on the call. And he found out only this past weekend that we're heading to Ghana, and he says, "I'm actually going to Ghana too." But how do I connect with you guys, and how do I be a part of what you're doing? And he literally decided to sign up and be a part of the experience to go into Ghana, and that was amazing. There you go, an entrepreneur who makes a decision almost immediately to be a part of. When he heard that we're going to be in Ghana as well, he wanted to align and associate himself with the community. And we talked, and he's looking at doing commodity business, looking at trading in Ghana. And so if you are connected to the Ghanaian community and you want to help this entrepreneur, you should put your information in the chat, because I think this is how we help each other. He's into commodities, so he's looking at buyers and suppliers of commodity items, rice and sugar and flour and these kinds of bread basket, if you may, items. So feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. And if he's here, then Melvin, if I could call you out, you put your stuff in the chat as well, so you can meet and connect with people. He's new to our community, so we love to welcome folks this way. And
Okay.
yeah, you may be able to connect with Melvin. So Stephen, you're back. So we
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
we want to continue. Hopefully we don't have
We
that.
don't log out.
It seems like we had
No,
a
I
disruption there.
apologize.
But I want to jump right into BIDEC, because and thanks for sharing that history, and
Yeah.
obviously congratulations to the folks that you binded their, helped to bound their love together, etc. today. I think that's awesome when you can be called to seal to help a brother seal a deal. So that's pretty awesome. Talk to us a little bit about BIDEC, if you may. What's BIDEC, and what is BIDEC's objective? What is it that you're doing with BIDEC?
BIDEC is an acronym for Bureau for International Development, Exchanges and Commerce, registered in Maryland and in Ghana as a nonprofit. And we registered BIDEC as a result of the work we were doing, realized there was a gap to fill, which was building a bridge between brothers and sisters in the diaspora and brothers and sisters on the continent. So as a result of that, we do festivals, trade shows, exchange programs, tied to either economics, culture, or education to ensure there was that build-up between Africa and its diaspora. And since 2022, we've been organizing one of our flagship programs of the Black History Festival, which we hosted in Washington, D.C. in 2022. We did the next edition in Columbus, Ohio. We did 2 editions there. And then we moved to Atlanta. In College Park, we hosted last year the Black History Festival. This gives us an opportunity to bring together businessmen, government officials, people in the nonprofits, and also in academia to rub minds on how we could promote opportunities for Africa. So this is a little bit of what BIDEC has been doing. This year, we stepping up an ambitious project of which we are pulling in a number of agencies, including the Atlanta Black Chamber, which is to host what we call the World Cup Share Train, which will be a global African village to promote our rich culture, whilst promoting business opportunities and also giving opportunity for a lot of people who want to know much about Africa and are interested in moving to the continent. And it's such an exciting moment to be having this conversation. We are pleased and privileged to be with the team, the GOC team in Atlanta, just a couple of days ago. And I just returned to Ghana, and it's exciting. The government is looking forward to engage, to create more opportunities. And I believe the team that will be coming here to Ghana will actually have a great or fantastic opportunity to actually experience some of the budding opportunities that exist for all individuals who are interested in doing business in Ghana.
Well, we're looking forward to this the World Cup train, you call it, right? And this idea of bringing businesses together to celebrate each other, celebrate their culture, but also celebrate soccer or football as we call it. Thank you, Stephen. We're looking forward to seeing where that collab goes. So folks will be able to hear more about that in short order. I want to talk a little bit about Ghana because West Africa obviously is it's rising, as we would say. There's a lot of good things that we're seeing coming out of West Africa, and there is no question that opportunity exists there. And so it's not even about the opportunity that exists. We know the opportunities exist. The question is whether or not we, excuse me, are taking advantage of those opportunities to prepare ourselves and to seize those opportunities. And so these conversations that we have, we really design them to move beyond the headlines or move beyond the verbiage and see how we can deliver some practical advice and practical clarity on what it really is to take to actually enter into a market like a Ghana, to actually operate into a market like a Ghana, and to scale into a market like the Ghana. I like to call it the EOS, right, which is entering, operating, and scaling when you get into these community. I want to talk to you, Stephen, a little about your perspective on that. I don't see him here, and it seems like we're having a connectivity issue there with Stephen. We probably need to try and get you back, Stephen, if you're here, because I don't see you anymore. Um, but but folks, what we want to find out from Stephen is really the context of what it is to actually operate into Ghana. I mean, you are here obviously because you have interest in doing business into Ghana, and we really want to understand what are those key steps to enter, if you may, into the market. What are the things that folks should be looking out for? And so I don't see him here yet, but we'll definitely be continuing that conversation. I saw where someone had visited Ghana in 2024, obviously looking to return. One of the things that we talked about when the delegation from BIDEC came in, we talked about their intention of, Ghana is a part of the World Cup. I'm not sure if you knew that the FIFA World Cup that's going to be here, Ghana is actually a part of that, and they're playing in Washington, D.C. They're not playing in Atlanta, but Atlanta is an important jurisdiction for the Ghanaian community, and so Stephen and his team is working towards ensuring that there's some presence from the Ghanaian community and by extension the African community here in Atlanta. Stephen, are you back? So you cut out, you got
Yes,
disconnected. So
I kept getting calls and calls. Pardon me for that. So
Stephen, let's just go into this context because we were talking about um three things I want to make sure we clear up today with you on this call. Entering into the Ghana market, operating into the Ghana market, and scaling into the Ghana market. And this should be a lesson that folks can take for any market that's in the West Africa to begin with, but by extension, other markets that may exist on the continent. So if you may talk to us a little bit about obviously why Ghana now? Like what is it about Ghana today, 2026, that you would say to the entrepreneurs on the call that are listening that will tell them now is the time?
thank you very much. I think since 2019, there's been a surge of Ghana's attention globally. And Ghana, for no reason, is nicknamed the gateway to Africa. And over the past couple of years, the Year of Return initiative that was executed in 2019 actually brought Ghana onto the spotlight, where all the mainstream media entities were talking about Ghana on their morning shows, on their high-level shows, their primetime shows. And this has been more or less put to the spot on what Ghana has been all the time, being the first country to be
All right,
independent.
Stephen, we're not hearing you so well. I think we're not coming in too well on the signal there. Um, Stephen, maybe if you can stay off the cam. I think we've seen you now, so you could probably just do the audio. That might be that might be very helpful for us. Folks, we do apologize for this. This is technology. Sometimes you really can't control what it actually does. Um, but I will continue and just try to buy him some time to reconnect. Excuse me. So one of the things that I know that the BIDEC community wants is to be able to engage with you who are here in Atlanta and those folks who are going to be here during the course of the World Cup. And so if you have suggestions and sort of questions around how you might want to be able to do that, you'll be able to connect with Stephen and his team. And obviously, we are going to be working with them at best to see how we can facilitate them in the efforts as they seek to create some presence here in Atlanta. I think if Ghana makes it into the World Cup, it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great moment for all of us, not just Ghana, but for everyone who is in the continent on the continent. Stephen, are you back? I just want to make sure that you're back with us so that we can continue our conversation.
Yes, I'm back.
Stephen, if it helps to stay off the camera, maybe we should do that so that we can try to get this up. Um,
Okay.
so if we can just continue, we were talking about why Ghana, please.
Yes. Why Ghana? I think one, we've been the first country to gain independence in 1957, and next year is going to be 70 years or the 7 decades of independence. And we're looking forward to having a big GOC engagement in Ghana, and we're going to be working with the GOC team to work that out. Ghana now, more than ever, has presented itself as a ready investment nation with a robust environment driven by digitalization the past couple of years, improved by regulatory frameworks that have been put in place, and also the security of the democracy of the country. In the West African sub-region, we've been plagued with a number of coup d'etats and some internal wranglings, but Ghana, over the past 3 decades, if not 4 decades, has enjoyed a stable democracy that has given access for governance to actually build a robust framework that has made Ghana very attractive for investment. It's being projected that in 2026, Ghana's GDP is going to rise or reach 5.6%, and which is a very good indicator for businesses. Some of the top businesses that are very attractive for anyone who seeks to invest in Ghana includes the energy sector. The government currently has readjusted its Ministry of Energy, which in the US we have said the Secretary of the Secretariat of Energy or the Department of Energy, which has been into invest in renewable energy, investing into renewable energy, which is seeking to increase investment in that area by 30% in this year, which is to look at opportunities in solar, wind, and biomass. Agribusiness has been on the rise. The current government, since 2025 coming to power, have decided to improve the sector, the agro-business sector, by increasing the value chain from those who are in the traditional planting all the way to those who are into agro processing, value addition, and exports. The digital economy as well has been very attractive. Ghana has, over the years, been establishing itself in the West African economy as a leader in the digital economy. I'll give MTN as an example. MTN is a South African brand. However, they have continually made massive gains in Ghana by introducing a number of fintech, including mobile money technology, which helps you to do transactions with your SIM or SIM card and your ID, which is an innovation. And as well as introducing a number of fintech solutions that have helped e-commerce and digital services. Another innovation is the Ghana card, which helps to identify individuals and also gives business security in the country. There's been investment to infrastructure development as well, which gives opportunity to people who are into that sector. There's been heavy investment to infrastructure to build roads that connect farming communities to the consumer communities, which are basically the urban and peri-urban areas, and also investing into housing and energy solutions. Healthcare has also been a very interesting sector to look at. So individuals in the healthcare sector, the country has been opening up our Ministry of Health, which is actually the Department of Health, as we say it in the US, has been investing heavily into structures, medical equipment, the pharmaceutical industry, and healthcare services. As someone who has been on the watch, looking at data, some of the key sectors that I'll prescribe that our brothers and sisters who are on this call should look at as an opportunity in coming to Ghana includes the share value chain. Ghana's share industry has a potential of rivaling likes like cocoa and the cashew, for example, when it comes to export. When it comes to exports, and as we speak, I show speed was in Ghana some couple of days ago, and it has really boosted Ghana's position when it comes to the share industry. So we also talk about the minerals industry. For as many of our brothers and sisters who are interested in, for example, gold, now Ghana has become the highest producer of gold from the continent as at this year, 2026. And as we speak now, there's been an institution called the Gold Board, which is handling the transactions of gold in the country, also handling other minerals like manganese, bauxite, to ensure there is the elimination of fraudulent activities and also illegal mining in the country. Another sector to look at critically for those who are interested in investing is in the tourism and hospitality industry. As we speak, there are so many people who are interested in coming to Ghana and other African countries. But I speak of Ghana because the data speaks for itself. I wish I had the opportunity to share data on that. The numbers are high and are increasing. And so one of the industries that we should look out for to invest in is in the tourism and hospitality industry. There are so many people who are trying to come to the country, and we look out to having travel and tour services for people, especially imagine a travel and tour service in Atlanta that is helping to bring people to Ghana consistently and back and forth.
I want to
Um,
jump in there, Stephen. I want to jump in real quick, just because I want to make sure that we're dialoguing about this. So people are firing up the chat about some things that they want to know. I think first thing is, where do people find this data? Is there an online repository? Do you have a reference online where people can go and process this a little bit more so that
yes.
they can continue their research? What's the reference?
Yes.
Where where can you tell us where exactly that we can go online right now to find this information?
Exactly. I'll give three key institutions that we should look out for,
Okay.
if not four. One is the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. The Ghana Promotion Center, GIPC for short, is responsible for driving all the investment conversations that I'm putting out right now. So if you go to their website, they have their research for each year that they drop where you can get all those figures. Then another another institution that we could get that from is also the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. The Ghana Export Promotion Authority handles or facilitates all exports for the country. So they have all the figures, all these figures. They also have a good research and database on this as well. That's the Ghana Statistical Services. Ghana Statistical Services. If you go to their website, you also have a lot of this information, a lot more beyond just business, doing business in Ghana. Then the last one will be the Ghana Free Zones Authority. Ghana Free Zones Authority. They also give information for companies that are into big processing and how the economy of Ghana has actually favored them and how this data is actually helping to cause individuals who are investors or businessmen to actually make decisions easily. But my one-stop shop for engagement is the GIPC. The GIPC has been the lead of facilitating, and as we speak, the country is actually working on um, revising the Ghana Investment Promotion Act to ensure that they do much more, especially for the diaspora. Another body
Okay.
is the
So I want to jump in here real quick, Stephen. Because I want to make sure, give me an opportunity to come in because I want to come up for a breather and make sure folks are getting the information. The Ghana
absolutely
Investment Promotion Center, the Ghana Statistical Services, the Ghana Free Zone Authority. What was the fourth one?
the Ghana Export Promotion Authority.
The Ghana, and I'm asking the team, so if you can pull up, if someone can pull up these link in the chat and put them there so folks can easily click it and bookmark it. So in your research you can find out and learn more about these four institutions. Stephen, thank you for that. There's one other query I want to make sure I get in because I want to switch gears and bring up or member that we want to spotlight real quick. But there is a point in the chat that I wanted to make sure I respond to you respond to if you can. Folks have been into Ghana, wanting to started taking their business into Ghana, and the question is they've heard several languages from the current president, and I'm not sure what those specific languages are, but it's really preferences around focusing on domestic investment versus global investment in their immediate economic growth. Can you speak to that? That's a query coming in from one of our guests here.
I will not be in a position to give an accurate answer, but I'll say what I know. What I and the BIDEC team have discovered over the past couple of months is this. There is a rise for diaspora direct investments. And as we speak, the GIPC is restructuring to make sure there's a protection for brothers and sisters from the diaspora who are interested in investing in Ghana. Vis-a-vis, I know there's been proliferation of some Eastern and Western powers to take advantage of the opportunities that exist in the country by investing. So the current regime is looking forward to ensure they give a lot of opportunities to locals. But these local nationals actually indirectly include those from the diaspora. So as we speak, the government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Interior, is bringing up an act which is for a birthright act that gives every person of African descent a quick access to nationality so that they are able to invest in the country, get protection for that, and also get access to some opportunities that we do not get if they are foreign
Yeah.
citizens. That is what I can say to that.
Okay, thank you. And I hope that was helpful. Stephen, I want to switch gear real quick because one of the things that we do on this Power Hour is to spotlight our members. It's one of the advantage of being a part of our community. We give you a front row seat in talking about your business. And if you don't like to talk about your business, I don't know who does. So we like listening to people telling us about how they make a difference, how they make money. That's also important. So, Janelle, please come on stage. Welcome. You are a regular member. You can't miss Janelle with the green. I think she chose that green for a reason. You cannot miss her. But you've been a member of the Chamber, GOC, and folks would love to hear about you and your business. The mic is yours. So take a few minutes to tell us a little bit about who you are. Tell us about the business and tell us how can the community help you.
Well, howdy ho there, folks, GOC family. This is me, John L. Carroll Menifee, very focused into the GOC. I've been in love with the GOC. It actually matches our intentions as a company. I actually met the GOC during the Kenya Business Forum back in, I believe, 2024, May 2024. And then eventually just started participating online, and next thing you know, I'm hooked. I can't miss a Wednesday. So to kind of share a little bit more about Solar Time USA and what we do, my name is John L. Carroll Menifee. I'm the current chair of the Georgia Solar Energy Association. So we do a lot of solar advocacy for the state. And then in terms of Solar Time USA, and the first Black chair, hello, it's not easy.
Hi.
Um, the um, the solar industry in, at least in the United States, minorities only play like less than 10%, like 8 to 9% in the solar industry. So for this is a big feat. I've been on the board for about 10 years, but let me digress. So Solar Time USA started in 2015. It's a product of John L. and Carol Menifee. We are two Black females. We're minority females, and it's a family company. My mother was interested in actually going to Africa. And I said, well, Mother, we can't just go to Africa. We got to do something. We got to have a business. And she said, well, let's start something. I said, well, let's start a solar company, Mama. And so from there, we started going back and forth to Kenya in 2019. Finally started the process to open up a company, and that company didn't work out. I mean, when you start working in Africa, not everything starts immediately, but it's a process and it's a learning process. And eventually, we participated in the GOC conference. And I said, Mama, it's the time to go. So we actually opened up Solar Time East Africa, actually in the same month, October 2025. Well, at least it got registered. And we actually opened our first branch in Kenya, in Bomet, not Nairobi. It's in Bomet, because we believe in serving the rural communities first. Rural communities are our heart and soul, and they love us and we love them. And actually now we have an order for about 1,000 solar units in that rural community, and another 5,000 for an area near Kisumu. So we're kicking. Yes, let's keep it moving. So then we also have Solar Time Rwanda, but that's registered. We haven't started really pushing that yet, because one thing I've learned is you have to bring in your solar equipment, because they really don't like the solar equipment from China. They want the US stuff. So so That's basically the focus, guys. I'm not sure if you have any questions.
Thank you, John. How can people? That's amazing. Congratulations on your accomplishment so far, and the community. We're rooting for you. We would love to see you succeed. Because when you are successful, I think we all are successful, and that's great. So this is amazing. How can people get in touch with you? Can you
Oh, yes, yes.
please put it in the chat as well? But tell us, how can people find you? Do you have a website, and etc., so that folks can reach out if they may have suggestions, they may want to purchase solar equipment from you as well. Tell us how to do that, Janelle.
Well, hey, you got my contact information right there.
All right, good deal. John, thank you. I appreciate it. John L. Minifi, ladies and gentlemen, from the land direct from Atlanta, part of GOC, now in Ghana, working on other parts. Hopefully, we can get her into Ghana, Stephen. We can get her into Ghana pretty soon. So, Stephen, I'm coming back to
Absolutely.
you. We're on the home stretch. I know we had some interference here with the technology, and we need to try to make up for some losses here. I want to talk about that one two step in getting set up into Ghana and operating legally into Ghana. Just a one two punch. If you can just give it to me straight, practical, no BS. How do we set up into Ghana if we're interested in doing that right now?
First is get on a plane, get to Accra, Ghana. Thanks to the GOC and BIDEC, you have boots on grounds to direct you to the right institutions. Without us, what I'll say straightforward is, if you were just a Ghanaian, it would be, once you have your business idea, you make a check from the registrar's general department or office of the registrar of companies to check whether the business name is available, and then you go ahead to register that business with them. After the registration is done, you go to the Ghana Revenue Authority, or the which will be your IRS in the US, to make sure you have all the tax certifications and licenses. The next thing will be to get an office location. That office location then gives you an address to register with. We call them municipal assemblies. They are the districts, metro, or municipal assemblies of that locality. So that would be like the county, or the or the city authority or city council of that jurisdiction. Once you register with them, you are ready to go. The other key things that are necessary to ensure that a business is registered and ready to go include having a bank account. And now in the country, to have a bank account, you need to have a national identification. So I'll give these options, which are what that can be referenced to anyone who is coming from Atlanta or who is a member of the GOC who wants to establish a business in Ghana. One of the important things to do will be to get what we call your non-citizen Ghana card from the National Identification Authority. The National Identification Authority gives you this card, which enables you to actually do registration of your businesses, or registration of or opening of bank accounts. The other thing will be get knowledge. Um, so we're looking forward to establish this practical platform, which will be a partnership between BIDEC and the GOC, where we'll have sections on getting your business started in Ghana, which will actually educate and put you directly in touch with the people that will help. Getting knowledge also includes, when you're in the country, going to the GIPC, which is the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. They are the singular entity in the country that help investors or individuals who are looking forward to establish their businesses comfortably. And that is one of the things that a lot of our brothers or sisters miss when they come into the country. They enjoy the tourism, they enjoy the hospitality, and maybe they get information from someone on the street. They jump straight into starting a business. That is risky and dangerous. So I would say get knowledge. I recommend the GIPC, and in the quite immediate future, that will be the GOC and BIDEC. We are actually establishing a new office in Accra, which will be helping with diaspora information, to ensure, we call it a diaspora hub, which will help to give information. And the GOC, ABC, and BIDEC are going to be working hand in hand to do that. And I'm encouraging you, Janelle.
Yes.
I'm encouraging you to come to Ghana because the atmosphere and the climate is good for doing renewable business. If you remember, that was one of the first entities I mentioned. So I'll be glad. I'll be
Yes.
glad to get in touch with you. Get in touch with the GOC, and we'll be glad to help you establish in Ghana. I wish you were coming this March. We will have been able to do much. I'll also say that the GOC team coming to Ghana will also have the opportunity. Will have the opportunity to actually have some engagements and encounters where
Yeah.
we'll use that to share more information on these opportunities. Thank you very much.
Which is great, Stephen. Thank you, and thank you for sharing that. So how do you get the first client in Ghana? How does one get a first client in Ghana?
Partnership is key to getting clientele in Ghana. For example, I want to use the solar business as a template. Having a local partner gives you a local edge over someone who just walks into the system. A local partner then gives you that legal opportunity not to spend too much. For example, with the current act, investment act that exists in Ghana, you need to invest about $1 million minimum to be able to have local clientele or do business legally in Ghana. However, if a local partner, you are able to scale over that $1 million requirement and actually begin to do business. Is that some good news?
Okay. That's great because that saves you, right? So where do you find these local people? Is that something that we can commit BIDEC being a resource to help us to access local partner? Where do you find these local partners to if you may date them before you figure out if they're worthy, if their trust is a important component
Absolutely.
of expanding
Absolutely.
and entering into market. So where do you find these trusted partner? Do you have signs they walk around with? Are they in chambers? Where you find them, sir?
Absolutely. The first thing I'll prescribe to any member of the Atlanta Black Chamber is get in touch with the ABC, get in touch with the GOC. Once you get in touch with the GOC will actually refer your details to BIDEC, and through our networks, we will put this out. So we work directly with some of the institutions that I mentioned. So we are able to actually link you up with them for them to directly connect you to credible, registered, legal partners that help you to establish your business. So this is our immediate solution going forward. As I said, with the volumes of requests that will come, we will have some customized solutions to enable maybe if it's monthly engagements via virtual engagements like we do the power hour, we're able to connect to people who really have the ability and the capacity to deliver on these partnerships. These are
Great.
the immediate solutions I can say exist. However, there are people all over the place, but the risk is getting in touch with just someone you meet on a trip to partner with has high risks, and that's what we're trying to prevent and make sure we have a smooth sailing opportunity for businesses that want to locate to Ghana.
Fantastic. So you need local knowledge, you need local partner, and you need to reach out, do your own research and figure out the things, but you have access to be able to effect some of those things. So if you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to ask Stephen what he can provide. We're coming up on the hour. Stephen, I've got one question from one of our guests talking about the need or the demand for ed tech, education technology or tech education, if you may, in Ghana. Can you point us to a perhaps a specific need that may exist? Now that we understand that a local partnership might be the best route if you don't have $1 million to spare, and you may be able to get with a local partner who you can then work with to get into the tech ed. But is there a need for that? Is there a demand for that for such thing?
Yes, there is a demand. Currently in the here we call it the senior high level. So we have the basic senior high, the senior high level. There has been a proliferation of many young folks who have enrolled for school and don't have access to physical classrooms, and they have to run on a schedule system where they have the green, yellow, and they have the red, yellow, and green tracks um, um, that run academic systems here. So the edutech sector plays a key role to ensuring that students who are out of school waiting to go back on their track have access to some form of education to keep them up on the global competitive level. So edutech is a big thing, is a big opportunity. People have been relying, I know a lot of schools have been relying on Zoom to have extra classes sections with their students. So any edutech entity that has the capacity can actually take advantage of the Ghanaian system specifically to break into the Ghanaian economy.
Fantastic. I hope that was helpful, Darwin. Stephen, another question. Approximately how much do you think this whole business registration and so forth costs in US dollars? A ballpark.
Ballpark business establishment should cut with a local partner. So I
Yes.
gave you the with coming directly with a local partner. Ballpark should be in the region of it should be in the region of $1,000, a region of $1,000
So a
or
thousand
less.
dollars from 1 million down to $1,000 if you have a local partner. You can have a local
Absolutely,
partner, and
absolutely.
is it worth it to date a local partner for a couple of weeks and really truly understand the authenticity and the
Right.
trustworthiness of a local partner like that to then invest $1,000 from 1 million? Wow, that's a massive amount of savings.
Yes.
Any other questions that you may have, feel free to put it into the chat. I think we're certainly leaving this conversation, Stephen, with some practical knowledge and some know-how, and some no BS of how we can move straight into getting or access into the market, finding your local partner. Folks, we have 30% of you doing a poll. We have a poll that we put out. We'd love for you to tell us and give us your feedback. The questions that we're asking is specific to Ghana in many ways, and then we have some other questions there. Would love for you to participate. We want to get that participation up to 50% as quickly as we can. We got a few more minutes left before we wrap here. If there's any other question, we'll actually take it. So Stephen will be out there with you. We'll be doing a power hour live from Accra, and we want to make sure that we're talking to the real entrepreneurs who have real potential to partner. We have 60 plus people on the call, and we would be nice to have 60 plus people going on delegation with us, but that's not the reality. So we are coming in many cases by ourselves, but not for ourselves. We're coming
On
and
behalf.
representing on behalf of the entire community. So the people who are here, the professional service providers, people who are selling physical products, they need that representation. So when we do the Power Hour Live out there, that's coming up in March. I think we'll be out there between the 15th and the 18th of March. We really want to make sure that we can connect with the right sources and inform our people how to take the next practical steps to be able to do that. Two more questions I see coming through the Power Hour, Stephen. Opportunity in cosmetics. Is there a demand for opportunity in cosmetic? Yes or no? What is it?
Yes, there is. There is a demand. So currently, excuse me, currently there is a demand for skincare, which is actually directed towards helping them, those with the melanin. So if there's any player in the industry, because of we are in the tropics, the weather versus our skin type is very critical. So there has to be a good research into getting the kind of skincare products that actually answers the skincare needs of the typical African. I'll
Hmm.
also say someone asked about the healthcare industry. I made mention that infrastructure, the service delivery, and then health tech are very critical in Ghana right now. And then someone asked about the Black History Festival. Yes, we used to do the Black History Festival in March, but this year we are jamming everything together with the World Cup Training in June, July, which will be between June 12th to July 12th. So we'll be sharing more details on that later on when we have the opportunity. So those I see you, but that's a former mayor of one of the former mayors, with Mr. Frank Whitfield. I see you. Thank you so much for that question.
Fantastic, fantastic, folks. We're down to the wire. 38% of you have responded to the poll. We only need 12 more percent. So if you don't mind, just take a moment. It's only going to take you about a minute or so to just respond, and we want to reveal the poll so you can also see it. So we'll ask for about a minute or so over time here because we want to show you the poll. We want to show you you have responded, particularly about Ghana. What I could tell you now, Stephen, is that a lot of the people that's on this call has never been to Ghana. And so that's a huge opportunity. The question that someone asked, is there another opportunity to go to Ghana before the year end? And for GOC, this is the time when we'll be going into Ghana, but you always will have an opportunity to go out to Ghana because we have people on the ground in Ghana that will be ready and waiting to receive you. BIDEC, for example, and Stephen and his crew. We actually have our regional lead for Ghana and the head of our West Africa division, who is also based here in Atlanta. If you are interested in going into Ghana, they can provide really, really good advice, really good feedback and guidance so that you can have a successful encounter into the space. I want to give a big shout out to those who have made the decision to go into Ghana with us. It was not an easy decision for you, I know, but you made it anyways, and you are here, and we're super excited to do everything we can to connect you to the sources, to the resources, to all of the things that you need to extract the value out of that space. And make sure you lean into that, and make sure you ensure that before you leave Ghana, you have what it is that you need. And we're going to Nigeria too. So before you leave those territory, we want to make sure you have the things that you need to make the decision that you need to grow and to scale your business. Stephen, we're at 47. Wow, folks, 48%. Only 2% more before I reveal this poll from you. You're doing an awesome job. There we go, 51%. Thank you so much for responding to the poll. And I'm going to end the poll now. I see 53, 54%. You guys are killing it. I'm going to end the poll now and show you those results, because this is important that you see the majority of us, you've not been on the that side of the continent, but finding trusted partners, market knowledge. These are key things, Stephen, that folks want to know about. And folks have indicated some industries, and what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're going to be sharing those industries with Stephen so that he can provide information and help us and help you to navigate. I see people talking around when it comes to industry, it's the business development, obviously the tourism. These are some of the stuff that you indicated in here. And so we're going to be working on those to help you. What do you need assistance with immediately? Stephen, folks need assistance immediately with contacts. This is why we have the GOC, because we create a community so that you can have access. And it's P dial. I mean, we know these people, and you need to lean in to the network to be able to contact and connect with these people. That's one of the things. People need land acquisition, Stephen. People are looking for folks who are in film. People are looking to be able to just connect. They're looking for connection. People are looking for funding to get in there. I see there are different programs in the chat to help you to access funding, prepare yourself for those kinds of stuff. People are looking for expertise in agri development. So we're going to dissect all of these needs that you have immediately, and we're going to ensure that we share them with you. So align yourself with the community. Make sure you're not missing out on these things when we decide to get back to you. Stephen, I'm going to stop sharing your reaction and your final bit of advice to the folks who are listening here. Can't make it on this trip, but their heart is coming with us, and they are going to stay connected, stay in tune to what we'll be delivering out there when we arrive. Your final bit of advice.
Is that to me, sir?
Yes. Your final bit of advice before we hop here.
My final advice will be connect to the GOC, stay connected, because a lot is coming up. One of the things is those who missed the opportunity of coming to Ghana, stay tuned to the activities that will happen. The activities that will happen during the visit of the delegation. And also, during the World Cup Catering, we'll have what we call the Global African Village, where there'll be activities, there'll be conferences, there'll be economic fora, there'll be exhibitions. So we'll be bringing Ghana and other African countries into Atlanta for 30 days. 30 days of those engagements will actually be an extra opportunity to engage some of these entities. Like we mentioned, the Free Zones Authority, the Export Promotion Authority, GIPC, they'll have reps, they'll have desks, the
tourism authority to let you know about where you should visit and all that. And so the best thing is keep connected to stay connected to the GOC for more information. And then upcoming programs, which is lined up for the World Cup, which is a World Cup chair train, will be an extra opportunity this year. And I will leak this information if Ricardo gives me permission. Special thanks to Bernice and the team for all the work you do in West Africa. We are looking forward to do a bigger edition of this delegation to Ghana during Ghana's independence next year March. So just be on the lookout for that information and get ready to enjoy the best from Ghana. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Stephen, you did a good job. Thank you so much for bringing this to us. Folks, thank you for your sharing your time with us. We've passed the hour. We're a little over, but you sticked around and we appreciate you for that. Please lean in, continue to lean in and stay connected. Stay connected with us. We have a private group on WhatsApp that we share opportunities with each other. We work together, but you have to be a part of the community to be able to access those kinds of stuff. So make those decisions as soon as you can. We are waiting for you on the other side. Thank you guys. Next week we'll be coming to you live from Cape Town. We'll be talking to our folks or good peeps that are out there. Some amazing things that are happening there as we get onto the continent and start bringing you some of the goodness. If you want us to represent you while we're traversing through these territories, reach out to us. We do have these promotional packs that we can promote you while you're not there in person. So make sure that we have a lead for you. We have an opportunity for you. Reach out to us if you're interested in that, because I know your heart wants to be there. And sometimes the pocket doesn't allow what the heart wants to do, but maybe you can then have the representation that you would need for us to ensure that you get full representation. You get full the opportunity to have someone speak on your behalf. And what better person to do that than your chairman here? So reach out. Let's make that happen. Have a good day, everyone. We're looking forward to it. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. See you for our hour. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate it. Awesome. Have a good day, everybody.